Where I'm at is actually I'm a stained glass artist,
Hmm.
and I'm in my studio. Behind me is the plastic sheeting that is protects the paint booth for when they do painting.
Mm.
It's not like a scene out of Most Wanted or anything like that.
That's awesome. So you're a stained glass artist.
Yeah, I do stained glass, and I also do writing.
Hmm.
Or I'm trying to. I'm trying to get into that.
Hmm. And what made you want to get more into writing?
Well, I've done writing before. Usually, I have been writing articles for like online magazines,
Hmm.
specifically in a religious or spiritual type setting.
Hmm.
And I just finished working with somebody. We're publishing a book in Iran
Hmm.
about, and let me give you the full title.
Hmm.
Is super exciting.
That's awesome.
It's called United Design Principles in Islamic Architecture to Gestalt Laws.
Wow.
So I would actually like to write for people that would read it and
Hmm.
get paid to do it.
Mm. And would you say that's your main motivation in learning copywriting?
Yeah, learning a platform to use the writing skills that I have and direct them towards an income, I
Hmm.
think.
And when did you first decide that that was something you want to do or learn how to do?
About 2 months ago, I think.
Hmm. And what led you to that decision?
I'm at a stage in my career where I can't really advance financially where I'm at,
Mm.
and I thought it would be really good to expand. I'm also trying to expand the artwork that I do,
Hmm.
and I thought that it, the writing and artwork expansion kind of complemented each other.
Hmm. So would you say that your main motivation is to be able to spread your message more powerfully or the extra source of income? Or is it equal between the two?
I think the copywriting would help provide a little bit of stability
Hmm.
and the communication skills necessary to support the artwork.
Hmm.
So they complement each other, but kind of sideways.
Mm.
It's like I took a computer programming course at the same time I was taking an English course. They aren't the same thing, but the computer programming helped me to really focus and clarify what I was writing in the English class.
Hmm.
And the English course really helped me to uh, kind of clarify the objectives with the programs I was writing.
Mm.
So they weren't exactly linked to each other, but they really informed each other.
Hmm. That makes sense.
And that's how I see the copywriting and the artwork.
Mm. And that's really interesting. I think that's really cool. You combine two things, especially if they seem somewhat unrelated, and they actually really help each other.
Well, and just with the copywriting class that I took from you, the
Hmm.
first one, I've been revamping things like artist bio and mission statements, stuff like that.
Hmm.
And just the copywriting mentality really helped me to clarify what should be artsy fartsy language.
Mm.
Came out sounding a lot more intelligent and a lot more professional
Hmm.
than previous iterations.
Mm. Awesome. And at this point in your journey, what would you say would be most helpful for you to grow your copywriting skills more?
I think practical application,
Hmm.
being able to find actual venues and connect with people where I can actually sell it would be a really big thing, and I think that in turn would help me to increase the skills as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the biggest problem. I think I can understand what I need to do, but it's in the classes that I taught with sculpture, I can have people do worksheets, I can have them do mental exercises and talk about it, but until they actually get their fingers in the work, produce something and show it, they really don't have a way to apply what they're learning. Mm-hmm. And that's where I feel that I'm at. Mm-hmm. I want to find a source and know exactly how I can go about to start selling stuff so I can get better doing that with in the practical world. Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, that makes sense. And is there any places besides this book that you just wrote where you've started to practically apply this stuff?
Well, that really doesn't count. It's in Iran. I didn't get any money for it. It's the title you look for, perhaps, other than my friends in Iran. Mm-hmm. But I'm writing. I'm in the process of writing other things as well. Mm-hmm. So I am gradually applying it, but I feel until I've made that kind of next step in taking it somewhere, mm-hmm. I'm just exercising.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. And at this point, are you more interested in finding other people's project and then them paying for you to write for them, or for you to write something that you would sell?
I'm interested in both, mm-hmm. but I think one would really help the other. Mm-hmm. I think that while I'm working on other people's projects, that would help me gain confidence in working on my own stuff. Mm-hmm. But it would also provide kind of the financial support to help me as I was working on my own project.
Mm-hmm. So just to make sure I got that right, it sounds like both are equally important because they complement each other. And
I think
probably you would start out with working on other people's project because that lays the foundation where you can then do your own stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. And is there anywhere that you've gone to start looking for these kind of jobs or gigs?
I've been looking at a couple different sites that are supposed to help, they're branded to help people to connect them with people that will actually pay for stuff. Mm-hmm. And I've been reaching out. A couple of the places that I've reached out to either never existed or don't exist anymore. Mm. Yeah, when the emails bounce back, it's kind of a bad sign. And I don't really know, I don't have the tools to know where to actually go to look, mm-hmm. where it doesn't feel like it's trying to chase after a spider with a shotgun. It's ultimately it's really frustrating. It doesn't get you anywhere. Mm-hmm. So that's where I'm at right now.
Interesting. And of those sites that you visited, were any of them, do they seem really promising when you joined them?
Yes, they did. Mm-hmm. Everything seemed really promising. Mm. One thing that is kind of frustrating to me is there are, they'll say things like, we'll teach you how to sell stuff and things like this, mm-hmm. but when it comes down to, well, who do I go to? What are the resources to find so I can actually sell stuff? How do I present myself? Mm-hmm. It seems either lacking or in a theoretical cloud or it just so happens that they have a program for that I can pay a lot of money to get to.
Mm.
And that's really frustrating because I'm not looking for another program. I'm looking for the skills. Like right now, there's in any community there are several different places you can go to that will help you learn how to dress appropriately and write your resume
Mm-hmm.
and job search, so you can walk in and shake hands with somebody. But there doesn't seem to be any resource that will do that same kind of thing for trying to find venues for selling writing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can imagine. That sounds really frustrating. What are some of these sites that you've been to where they seemed really promising and then they kind of led you down that rabbit hole?
I don't know if should I say any sites specifically, because I don't want to get anybody
Oh, okay.
in there.
Yeah, we don't have to say that then. No worries. That's a good point. I guess one question that came to my mind is, have you tried the freelancing websites like Upwork?
I have gone to Upwork and I started looking at that, and I actually applied for several things,
Mm-hmm.
and it seemed that it was. I have a full-time job right now, and I'm trying to do these other things, and the amount of time it would take to get the kind of income I'm hoping for
Mm-hmm.
seems like it would be less per hour than what I'm making now, and that's not. Even as a part-time job, that's not what I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And if I knew the steps that would be appropriate to take, or the kinds of things to look for, to whom to approach, then I could bear that loss of income for a short while,
Mm-hmm.
But at the point where I'm at, it's still shotgunning it,
Mm-hmm.
and so I will go back into it every once in a while to see if there's anything promising, but it's at a point where it seems like it's more of a waste of time than anything else. Like writing 10 articles for $6 an hour just doesn't seem to be where I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Right now. And if I knew that, in 30 days that would get better, then that would be a different thing. But if, how it looks, and with the lack of education I have about it, it just doesn't seem like that's something that does that kind of make sense? I'm not trying to sound snooty. It's just that's the reality.
No.
I really have no idea what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. And just to make sure I understand that, it's this thing where if you knew that investing this time into the Upwork would pay off in the long run, then you would be happy to do it if it was a clear path. But as it is now, you have this full-time job and you don't want to give up that, or you maybe can't afford to give up that paycheck in order to pursue this thing that seems pretty unsure whether it's going to lead to anything. And then it's that metaphor of the shotgun.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons why I'm a sculptor and I do art, because it's a little bit more difficult to articulate things clearly if I'm not working with it in my hands.
Mm-hmm.
So when I write something, I usually go through about 20 revisions to get to a point where it's actually clear.
And why did you choose copywriting as the way you see to make an extra source of income?
They seem to resonate the best with the types of things that I've already done.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the work that I do with interfaith type of organizations is trying to make something interesting where most people are not interested at all.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the kinds of questions you have to ask yourself when you do copywriting are exactly the kinds of questions that you need to make sound inviting or interesting to engage that potential audience. Mm-hmm. So it seemed like it resonated well, and it was a good thing to pursue.
Mm-hmm. I love that. idea. I totally agree with that. You learn so much about the psychology of people when you study copywriting.
Yeah, if you want to tell somebody, yeah, we're having a Baptist picnic in the park. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, who's going to care? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I'm not trying to sound rude or anything like that. The people that do care are the people that are going to be going to the picnic anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But if you tell somebody, hey, we're going to have an awful lot of fun, and you're going to be hungry anyway, you might as well enjoy it with really good people are that want to include you in their community.
Mm-hmm.
And if you use the right kind of language, then it sounds a lot more inviting.
Mm. Yeah.
I hope that was a real example, and I really hope it doesn't affect anybody. But that's the way it is.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I could feel it even in that example you're just saying. The difference between the two is night and day.
Yeah, and we want to engage people. We want them excited about the things that we are doing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't use that kind of copyright style language, it sounds like your great Aunt Mamie's family newsletter once a
Mm-hmm.
week. Great Aunt Mamie will be at the picnic, but we don't want people to make it, to think that it's their newsletter.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Andrew. Those are all the questions I have for you. Is there anything I could help answer with, or something that came to your mind that I didn't ask?
Well, I think it would be really nice to have kind of, you include a lot of resources in the classes and stuff, and it would be nice if there was a resource towards something that, in addition to Upwork, these are the kinds of things that could be done, or even if you or offer a course like covering that in the future.
Mm.
This is exactly how you go about to find clients.
Mm.
I would really be good.
That's awesome idea. Service covers. Here's exactly how to find clients. Yeah, because that definitely seems to be a very common pain point. It's like you said, once you learn all the knowledge, you just have to apply it. It's through the real world experience.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And so much confidence comes with working with clients in real life.
Well, and even if it's selling to your brother-in-law, it's still you've sold something.
Mm.
You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. Well, I really enjoyed talking with you. It's fun to hear your perspective on things,
Very much.
where you're at.